Today I've got a special project. You can see, got my tiny little board with a few words listed. Wings, empennage, which is my aircraft tail area, and then fuselage. Just those three terms, because I've got something really cool for us to look at today. I have a kite, right? It's not necessarily a traditional kite, but it is a kite that I've been hanging on to for a long time, really. It is a kite that I got in Oshkosh. The last time that my father and I got to go to Oshkosh together, we used to go a lot. It falls near my birthday, or on my birthday usually, and it used to be the trip we would take. Obviously, my father passed away, so I've kind of been, I don't know, sitting on this, I think, and maybe not putting it together, right? Not building it, not assembling it, but I thought, what better time, since I just did a tiny little video about kites, to go ahead and introduce a couple new concepts and put this little kite together. You can see it's super basic, made out of styrofoam, but everything aviation related has learning points for us. It absolutely does. So I'm trying to hold that in front of the camera so you can see it. It says that it's Sky Fighter, right? A toy flyer kite. Read instructions and assemble carefully. And it tells us that the wings are a tight fit. Pretty much, we're just going to stick it together, right? Let's take a look at it. It's really cool. It's probably going to be the easiest kite I've ever flown. There's our wing, right? Our wings. And wings, by definition, are just an airfoil whose main function is to provide lift. That's absolutely what we're going to do with this kite. This will be the piece that gives us lift, our actual tailpiece, our empennage, a little bit smaller in relation, right, to the actual wing itself. My empennage is the rear or the tail portion of an airplane. It's not just a singular piece that makes up my empennage, right? That's my elevators, my rudder, horizontal stabilizer, vertical stabilizer, trim tabs, all that stuff occurs, exists, lives on the empennage, which is our tail, right? Tail of the aircraft. So my empennage, right? Since we do talk about ICAO level 4 English and how we want to achieve that proficiency, empennage is one of the original aviation terms from French. Right? We know that originally French was the absolute language of aviation. It wasn't until the 1950s, that ICAO added it to the Chicago Convention documents. Telling us that English, because that the United States and the UK were the major producers of aircraft at the time. So English was going to be the standard. And we've never looked back since. You guys already know, if you're involved in aviation, good possibility your ATC system may actually speak in your language. For the benefit of international aircrews, English is used also. So it really just depends. where you are, and if they have a certain duality, do they use both? A lot of countries that you go to, you've got to be ready, right? And as a pilot or a dispatcher, no matter where your flights are going or who you're talking to, you learn information ahead of time, right? Tribal knowledge, so to speak, from your colleagues. What goes on when we fly to South America? What happens? What is the dynamic when we fly into Asia? What do we expect? Your airline, your company, they brief you on that. But we do know there's, English is what we use now, but a lot of our words do come from French. And so empennage is one of those words, right? Like pitot tube. Pitot is also a French term. But so the only other piece we have left is my fuselage. And here it is. Styrofoam, right? It's 3 pieces, but I wanted to assemble it, put it together so you guys could see it. See my little piece of string. It's on like a little tiny spool. And we're attached right here at the bottom. So I can just barely call this a model, but it is nonetheless. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this string out here because we do want to put our wings and our tail piece into the fuselage. So it looks like that stays static. We'll lay the string down. According to the directions, it said to make sure that we insert this upside down, right? So we can see it from the ground. And it said, it's a tight fit. I can just see me breaking it. Oh, I hope not. I am usually pretty clumsy. Danger-prone Daphne kind of thing. On the data card that goes with the kite itself, it did tell us that we need at least 5 knots of wind all the way up to 15. I would suspect at 5 knots of wind, we don't get that much lift, right? Relative wind over our wings. In a real aircraft, we're propelled forward by our engine. And so then we create our lift as we move through the relative wind on our wings. But with a kite, I'm relying solely on wind at the surface to blow, right, and to help it fly. But yeah, it said, what? 5 to 15 mile per hour wind and 30 feet high. So, for super anxious little kids, we'll go out and we would try with little or no wind. For me, I'm going to wait. I checked my METAR and a couple of my TAFs today around the area to see what kind of wind is, projected to exist. Oh boy. Probably not enough wind today. I think we're due to get some thunderstorms though this weekend, which should then of course kick the wind up, which would be great. And I'll be able to go out and test it and take some video and show you guys how cool it wound up being. So my wings, right? An airfoil whose main function, providing lift. And my empennage, right? My tail portion of the airplane. Can be lots of stuff back there that falls under empennage, right? Elevators, rudder, horizontal stabilizer, trim tabs, all that stuff is part of my empennage. And then of course my fuselage, right? So my fuselage, right, is my area aft of my firewall and forward of my empennage, my tail, right? So the cockpit is it's located in my fuselage, right? So aft of the firewall and forward of the actual empennage. So my fuselage. So yeah, 3 basic pieces on our kite. We're gonna wait for wind, and I suppose I'll wait until I have the flying footage to put the rest of the video together so that I can put it on YouTube for you to look at. But kind of cool. Just a way to look at a couple new words: wings, empennage, and fuselage. And another opportunity to actually talk about, our ICAO level 4 English. And the fact that many words make up our aviation usage. And we do know too, as straightforward as the ICAO level 4 English seems like it might be, every country absolutely will do something a little different. And we will be ready, right? We will be prepared. So yeah, my wings, empennage, and fuselage, and my kite, my Sky Fighter. Bought it, Oshkosh, in Wisconsin. In my eyes, and the eyes of many people around the world, Oshkosh is the greatest air show ever. Whitman Regional Airport in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, such a great event to be able to attend. My dad always said that it was for my birthday because it fell during that time, but I kind of think we would have went even if it wasn't my birthday. Right? I've seen so many things at Oshkosh. Oshkosh is so cool. Got to see the Concorde there. For any of you who have actually been there, you know it's a very hard thing to describe, the coziness, the intimacy of all those aircraft being at Whitman Regional Airport. It's incredible. And all the people and all the planes and everybody who flies in. This is one of my last things that I was sort of just sitting on it, right? I want to fly it. I want to go outside and see how it does. But I will. Keep checking the wind. Maybe I'll add a little bit of something about that. Winds aloft. Maybe some METARs and TAPs into the video as well. But yeah, so my Sky Fighter. So cool. Right? Thank you again for coming and looking at my videos. Oh my goodness. Ah! Oh no, it's really cool. It's like it's a stunt kite for sure, and I'm not so good at it yet, right? New territory. Oh, it's so beautiful though. Come on, kite. I still don't think I have adequate wind. You know, I do have far too many obstructions. Too many trees, too many buildings. It does, remember? Mechanical turbulence. Whoa. Objects around the airport and the airstrip and the airfield definitely affect your flying say in the pattern or taking off from the runway. And here I have all kinds of things causing mechanical turbulence. Oh, and just breaking the wind in general as well, making it impossible. This is challenge accepted. Styrofoam kite. Looks like it has great potential. Potential that won't be realized today. I was being a small child about it and wanting to fly it right away. Yeah. I think I'll have to wait